I'm working on a Series 3 3800 supercharged Grand Prix. This probably will work for the Buicks too. I'm doing a rear knock sensor on it. Now the front knock sensor is right there. The rear one, right behind it. Right behind it on that tray, on the intake up there. You can see the hole that it goes into. When you unthread it, a bunch of coolant's gonna come out. So everyone says these are a bitch, takes 6 hours to change, blah, blah, blah. You gotta pull the engine. No, you don't. No, you don't. What you do is you run yourself to AutoZone. You go grab a 22 millimeter 3/8 drive and go get yourself an extension that's a wobble on the end of it. This one's snap-on. It. You don't need snap-on. I'm using a Harbor Freight ratchet on it. But you get a, make sure it's super long, because you'll need that to get, you know, past your pans and actually unloosen it. On your old sensor, what you're gonna do is you're gonna break off the end of that connector. Just break it off so you can get your socket on there, get a good, nice, tight fit on it. All right, and what you'll do after that is you can see my oil pan here. Move my light. You can see, focus, come on, there you go. You could get a pry bar and brace it up against your trans and just ever so slightly bend the oil pan out of your way. And that gives you enough room to get that 22 mil up there, up onto the old sensor. Now I got my new one in here, but you can't drop the old one out through here, and you can't drop the new one in through here. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the other side of the motor here, and you can see up here, there's this, here, let me find something metal or steel. There's this guard. Pull that thing out of your way, like just kind of rip it back. It's gonna be in the way of your hand. What you can do is, let me hold my light. See that loop line on your steering rack? What you're gonna do is feed your arm through this, right where my index finger is, right there. You're gonna feed your arm up there. You're gonna feed your other arm up there. This is after, you need a 15 mil ratchet wrench, and there's a little bracket. You can see it over here. That's going to be around the old knock sensor. Get out those two 15 millimeter bolts and move this thing just out of the way, over to the left, onto the passenger side. I can't get it all the way out. It's kind of stuck in there, but it doesn't need to be all the way out. What you'll do to get out your old sensor is you'll feed your hand up, like here, and you're going to push it up over the transmission hump, and it'll just kind of sit there. Yep, like that. Now let me see if I can get that. Yep, you can just barely see it on the screen there. Right there. What you'll do is you'll come over to the other side. Everything on this thing is aluminum. I don't like it. And you'll feed your arm up, and you'll pull out your old sensor. So you'll go straight up. And then as soon as you feel it get, like open up in there, you can feel the top of the transmission, and you can feel your sensor. And you can maneuver that out a little bit to the right. So when you get your new sensor, you're gonna go same exact way. You're gonna go up through this hole. I'm holding onto this sensor, and listen, you'll plop it forward. Just like that. And that'll push it over here. Now I'm gonna figure out a way to MacGyver this and hold this sensor up and thread it in, because it does look like it's gonna be a bit of a task to get it up into that hole there that you can see. I'm thinking a piece of coolant hose on the end of the connector and spin it. I'll be right back. All right, well, I got it back up in there. Let me get it to focus here. So all I did was just grab my left hand and just spun it up there till it caught a thread, and then grabbed my little socket extension party and just kind of twisted it in there by hand. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna tighten her down. Now it's got like thread tape on it already from factory, so you won't need to like put anything on the threads or anything like that on the new sensor. It's got tape on it, and I'll tighten that up. Let me show you again how this combobulation goes up in there. So I got my 22. and just angle it towards the front of the car when you get your pan moved, and it'll just slide right up in there, and you can turn it. And when I'll get that tight, and I'll plug that sensor in it. I just got the plug over there, and then we'll work on getting that bracket up in there. That's just going to be a matter of threading those bolts back in and getting that tightened down. I'm swapping over to my 1/2-inch drive, 12.22 millimeter from AutoZone. This just got a 3/8 to 1/2-inch adapter on there. This is just slightly longer. You can get past the connector a little better on the new sensor. Sorry I didn't say that originally. I'll put it in the video description. I'll put read description on there for everyone. I'm gonna go ahead and get that tightened up and finish that up. All right, I got that torqued. I bottomed out, then went like a 1/4 turn. It's just a dang knock sensor, and it's just threaded into a coolant passage. Can't be too bad. You don't want to over torque that. Let me get a good video here. I'm gonna move this bracket in real time here. Up and over this fucking knock sensor. Sorry about the language, but I'm a mechanic. Work your hand over it. One sec. Okay, so what I did is I reached my hand back up over here and used my other hand to push that bracket up basically where I could grab it on the other side, and I held it right back up on the transmission where we put the sensor earlier, and then you grab your bracket bolts and thread them things in by hand, and I'll grab the bracket from back here. Come on, focus. And you just kind of lay it back down where it needs to be. Sorry guys, I gotta get a better light on that, sorry. Yeah. There we go. Okay. And you can reach your hand around and you can see the bracket moving, and you can see it pivoting on that bolt. Now I don't have the other bolt. The previous owner, or the previous guy, attempted this repair and he lost it. So I'm just gonna put that bracket right over that, and I'm gonna grab my ratchet wrench here. Get up on that. Of course, wrong way. And just tighten that down. Let me pause it. All right, I got that bracket tightened down. Now we're just gonna wiggle this harness where I can get to it. Of course, I put the damn sensor in at the worst possible spot, in orientation wise, but hey, we'll work around it. Oh, come on. It's so difficult doing this shit one-handed. Give me 1 second. Alright, I got it fished in there, I'm sorry. And we'll just push that up, click, and you're gonna have to refill the coolant after you're done, and that's how you do that. Yeah, that's how you finish that on the 3800s. The front ones, same size sockets, it's just a lot more difficult. Or a lot more easier, my bad. Have a good day.